Shalom to the elect, giving all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakakudash, the Balanas, to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Shalom to you, sincere Akim, you sincere Aqua, out here believing and pushing the truth of Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, in all truth and sincerity. Back again with another lesson, Lord willing. I don't want to feed the flock. Just wanted to do a quick lesson on, something that happened when I was out teaching yesterday. There was a young Jake, about 20 years old, who stopped by, and he was from Milwaukee, and he mentioned that he came across a camp which he described it sounded like ISUPK. And when he saw me out there with the signs and with the Bible and stuff, he kind of just stopped and kind of inquired. And from this clip, I'm gonna play a little bit, and I'm just gonna bring out a few precepts, just going into how basically we doing everything that's happening on the earth is a repeat of what has been. As it says in the book of Ecclesiastes, it tells you that which has been is that which shall be. And there's no new thing under the sun, roughly paraphrasing. It's the same old thing. And what was interesting about this Jake is how, he mentioned that he's into everything. He doesn't just be into one thing. He likes the Bible. He says he likes the Quran. He's into the Buddhist stuff and all of these things, man. And that's ultimately what got us in these situations. Israelites being a spiritual whore, going after all these doctrines and philosophy. Matter of fact, let me just start here in the book of James. And then I'm going to play the video. This is James chapter 4, verse 4. And it reads, "Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High?" Okay, and you adulterers, ye adulteresses, speaking about, us spiritually, man. We're spiritual adulterers and adulteresses. Physically too, okay, of course, but spiritually, that's what Israel has become. Israel has forsaken the Lord and chasing after all these other doctrines and the ways of the heathen. That's why it says in the book of Jeremiah chapter 10, learn not the way of the heathen. Because, that's what we did. That's what we did. We ended up adapting all the gods, the philosophies, the customs of these heathen nations, man, bugging us out and taking us further away from our power. So let me just play a little bit of the video.
I read the Quran. I grew up on the Bible, and I read the Quran. I read Buddhist scripture. Honestly, everybody is saying the same thing, but the only thing is that it's separation by name.
And the funny thing is, I was the same way. I was saying the same thing, and honestly, I highly doubt that he's really reading and really investigating these things, but it's a spirit, because I was saying the same thing, and I really wasn't diving too far in these things. But I would say, yeah, man, I'm into this, I'm into that, I'm into this, and it's all saying the same thing, which is true in a sense. In a sense, it's true, but these other nations don't have the truth because they don't have the true God. It says in the, let me get that. Psalms 96 and 5. Let's start at 4. Psalms 96 and 4. For Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the nations are idols. But the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai made the heavens, man. These other nations, what they are into or what they worship and what they follow is pretty much idolatry. And they're chasing after idols, man.
Not like the Buddhists, the Taoists, they all focus on the way. It's just more so on the inside. So, I fuck with it all, bro. I honestly, I
shouldn't do that, because you're going to get bugged out. You're going to get bugged out.
I'm not bugged out. Once you find the way out.
Because all these other doctrines, they come from the heathen.
Nah, I probably shouldn't have told him he was bugged out. I should have just waited till he left me. But, that's what happens. When you follow all these things, you become bugged out because you're not going to be rooted. Because if I would have asked him, well, what are you rooted in? What's your foundation? He wouldn't have been able to tell me anything. He would have gave me some bugged out response. Well, I'm rooted in he would have gave me something bugged out. right? He wouldn't have gave me nothing. See, now if you're gonna dive into all of that, man, it's best to at least get rooted in the scriptures so that you can filter those things through the scriptures. Okay, so you can see those things through the spirit, man. You know? Isaiah 8, verse 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. Right. And when because he could have been like, he could have been speaking some great things and he could have gave me some really good examples. But if he couldn't speak and connect that and tie that and filter that through the scriptures, he didn't have no light. It wouldn't have even mattered because you're right. Those other things do confess a power and all of this and that, but they don't tell you the name of this power. This source. They don't give you the name. They don't give you prophecy. They don't tell you who you are in relation to those things. You see, but the scriptures do because this is where the light is, man. This is where the light is, and ultimately the spirit isn't working with a man like that, man. Okay. Now now the Lord might have him come around because he done seen this before. He stopped and actually listened. He listened for a while, man. I actually went into a lot. And the spirit might end up working with him and playing on his mind and having him come back. But man, if you out here just chasing all these doctrines, you gonna get turned out, man. Because you're committing spiritual adultery, man. Okay, you're forsaking the Lord by doing that. Matter of fact, Judges 10 verse 16. Actually, is it Judges? Verse 13, Salakia. This is Judges 10 and 13. Yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods. You see, that's what Israel is doing to this day. To this day. I have served other gods. Wherefore I will deliver you no more. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of tribulation. You see? And and that actually sounds like how we speak, man. Shit, that ain't how your mama, daddy don't spoke. Shit, you don't want to listen to my rules, get out of my house. You know what I'm saying? I remember my mama talking like that when I was out there growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, shit, you want to listen to this? You don't want to follow what I gotta say? Well, let them buy you this. Let them pay. That's the Lord, man. That's Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. You wanna go serve these idols. Well, okay, when I bring these plagues upon your ass, when I bring that fire to your ass, let's see if those idols are gonna be there to get you out of it. You see? And that's what Israel is gonna learn the hard way, man. When the Lord, like it says in 2 Ezra 16. 2 Ezra 16. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and where is he that may drive them away? You see? Same thing, man. Saying the same thing, man. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of tribulation.
Scriptures tell you that the God of these other nations are idols. So when you go into the Muslims and the Buddha and all that,
What's the main principle?
it ain't about principle. Because one, they don't deal with the name of the Lord. The Most High and His Son got a true name. What's the name of the Heavenly Father?
Jehovah,
Nope.
Jesus,
Nope.
God,
Nope.
Allah.
You know why?
Buddha.
Because
he coming from the perspective of the principle. So honestly, basically, what in the spirit where he's coming from is an atheist, man. Really, if you really look at this in the spirit, he's coming from the point where there is no true power. It's all if you really further investigate, I bet you he's coming from the perspective of man is God. Man is okay. We just exist. Man is. That's where he's coming from. That's what that type of doctrine and those type of spiritual adultery will lead you to saying, oh, it's all just one. we just exist. God is love. He might go into something. The black man is God. Like that's the woman is God. He ultimately that's where that spirit is right there, man. Thought I had my do not disturb on, but yeah, ultimately that's where that's what the spirit he's coming in, man. Let's get a precept. This is let's go to First Corinthians chapter 1. First Corinthians 1 and 27. But the Most High Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, have chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And the Most High have chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. Right? And we are, what we're coming with is considered the foolish things of the world, because everybody has a Bible. But don't nobody care about the Bible. Don't nobody care about what's in it, man. Okay? When you see men out here in these strange attires with these signs out here preaching and ain't nobody listening, they look at that as foolishness. Like get a life. What are you doing? Nobody's listening, man. Put that Bible away. But these are the foolish things that the world views deem as foolish that are going to end up confounding the so-called wise of this world, man. The people of this world are going to be confounded by everything that we're quoting and everything that we're bringing out. And it says, and the Most High have chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. Okay? And 28, and base things of the world and things which are despised. Right. Is not the word of the Most High despised, as it mentions in the book of 2nd Esdras? Hath the Most High chosen, yea, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are, man. Right. And these words, these prophecies, man, this word of the Lord that's despised, which is the spirit of Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua, okay? The world despises this thing, man. And they deem it as foolish, and it's going to be to their own destruction. All right, 1 Corinthians, let's stay in this book. Let's go to chapter 3, verse 18. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. I just read it verbatim, with God. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, man. The wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. So, you got this young Jake. I bet you in his mind he thinks he's wise because he's so-called open-minded. He's well-learned in a multitude of cultures and philosophies. But all of that is wisdom of the world, man. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's vanity. Verse 20 says, and again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise. So he's a so-called wise, right? The Lord knoweth his thoughts, that they are vain. Why? Because he's not in the scriptures. He's not rooted in the scriptures. Because everything outside of the scriptures is pure vanity, man. You see? So, yeah, man, I don't know what I'm going to entitle this, but, man, Lord willing, that was edifying, man. Get rooted, and, that shit, man. Lord willing, that was edifying, man. Above, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Shalak Wayam, Wa Nashim, Wa Abadiyam, Wa Mashapadium, Al Kala Wamyum, Wa Gawanyum, Wa Ayabianwa, Babakusha, Babakusha, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Shema, Palayum Nawa. The Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Halayum, Wata Paraf, Labanawa, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Kakudash. The honor to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone again, and shalom to the hopeful elect.